Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my shop. So today I want to share something with you. So this is a book that I purchased on one of the trips that I have been to the thrift store. I purchased it a long time ago. Now let me see if I can find the copyright on this book. Let's see, it was written by Joseph D. Falcone or Falcone, and it says looks like copyright 1978. So 1978. So keep this in context. It's 2024. This book was copywritten in 1978. I'm going to read a portion of the introduction here. Because a lot of people wonder, like, why does he have all these tools? Why this? Why that? All right. I got an answer for you. All right. The decision to remodel has produced a boom in home improvements. U.S. spending on home repairs totals nearly $30 billion annually. This is in 1978. Sociologists predict that families who economize and maintain a home center their leisure time and activities more on do-it-yourself projects. With more home-centered lives, homeowners are increasingly remodeling their home tailored to their taste and also to increase the resale value. 2/3 of U.S. families own their homes, and the proportion is rising steadily. In spite of inflation, high mortgage rates, and taxes, home ownership is still the best and safest and wisest investment a family can make. And the only way to avoid becoming house poor is to do it yourself. I closed the book on all you people out there that run around talking about, why does he buy all these tools? Why does he do this? Because you have a different way of thinking. The way that most people think today. Let's go on that. So this is the demographics of debt, debt.org. All right. Americans owe $986 billion on credit cards. You know how much I owe? Zero. You see all this? Zero. All right. It says here, as surpassing pre-pandemic levels of $927 billion, we owe $11.92 trillion on mortgages, $1.55 trillion on auto loans. You know how much I owe on auto loans? Zero. And $1.6 trillion on student loans. You know how much I owe on student loans? Zero. All right, so anyways, the bottom line is this. A lot of these critics out here, you're speaking from your experience. Most people, even some of my own family members, have grown accustomed to being in debt. It's just, they wake up to it, they live in it, they swim in it, they drink it, they eat it, they love debt. I'm not one of those people. And I realize the only way to stay ahead of the train is to be able to do things for yourself. And not all of us have the time nor the money to be able to go to a class or a school to learn these things. At one point in time, my wife considered becoming a real estate agent. And we looked into it, and all the investment that you have to put into it, as far as the time, you have to put yourself under another real estate agent, all these different things that basically make it cost prohibitive to do it in the right way. What's the point if you decide, say, to do take up any trade or any craft and you have a lower quality of life? What point does that make? It doesn't make any sense to me. Right? So let's say for me personally, let's say I was to go to an area vocational technical school or something like that to learn building trades and stuff like that. I'm going to have to pay that tuition. I happen to live in California, and I know for a fact that when I lived in the Midwest in Kansas, tuitions and stuff like that, they weren't as high as they are here for certain things, right? I mean, when I hear about people that go to school to become a medical assistant here in California, you hear these astronomical prices for how much it costs. Like over double, triple what I paid to get my nursing degree at a community college in the Midwest. There's a certain thing that I would consider insane. And that's overpaying for anything. I don't care if it's getting your toilet fixed, if it's getting something done to your house. At a certain point in time, it gets to the point where you have to just basically say, I'm going to do without. There's a gentleman that I watch on an occasion. He's down in Texas. He's a trim carpenter. And he decided he wanted to put a few windows and a door in his house. And he called around and they quoted him a price of 30 grand. You know what he said? I'll do it myself. That's what a lot of people are waking up to realize today in this economy at this time. They're learning that if you don't do things yourself, this life is not sustainable. It is not sustainable to go to the dealership every time to get your car fixed. It's not sustainable every time you have something break in your home to go pay a professional. You will go broke. None of us are making that kind of money. I'm not going to say none of us. None of us regular people are making that kind of money. And the bottom line is a lot of people, they're too intoxicated with pleasure, right? You know, they smoke, they drink. You know, they go to parties, they do all of these frivolous things. You know, there was a time, I watch football on occasion, just more so the highlights. I'd never pay to go to a football game again. I'd never pay to go to a basketball game again. I'd never pay into those types of things ever again, even though I casually watch them, because I have better things to do with my money. Rather than paying thousands of dollars to go see an artist sing on a stage, or astronomical monies to see somebody perform, I'm going to go buy me something that's going to give me a return on my time and my investment. It may not be a dollar for dollar investment return, but you know what it is? It's making me not be in debt. What about you? Are you in debt? If you're in debt, you should probably think twice before you type on the keyboard and say something like, oh, this is dumb or that's dumb. Go look at your bank account. If your bank account is not full to overflowing, if you owe on credit cards, if you owe on auto loans, you need to take a long look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is dumb? Is it dumb paying 20, 30, 40% interest rates? That's dumb to me. So we all have our perspectives, right? So let's call this a draw. Some people think I'm foolish because I invest in some nice quality tools, and other people are not pulling their dirty laundry out and laying it on the table for us to see. They just type in the keyboards and say, hey, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Open your bank account up, fam. Does it make sense? Are you well off? Because I can tell you this much. I'll just give you a kind of like a little analogy here. You see, I'm a registered nurse by trade. I practice this daily. I do my best in my career every day I go to work. You know what I'm not concerned about? Someone that is not practicing nursing when it comes to nursing things, right? If I was a professional in this trade doing this kind of work, the last thing I'd be doing is scouring the internet, looking at some guy in his garage who decides to collect tools and buy tools and can barely make a box. Why would I even be concerned about that? The only reason I'd be concerned about that is because I'm a busybody. I'm worried about other people's business as opposed to worrying about myself. Worrying about, do I have habits in my life that is derailing my life? Do I have that? And some people may think, oh, he's getting, up in arms. No. I'm just a factual, logical person, right? And I've created this channel so that people can see that there's a different way to do it. I wish that there were people more in like mind, like myself, because, like they say, many hands make light work, right? I've been out here in California for years now, and it's very difficult to see people. I say people because we all as human beings, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, as far as like anybody can decide that they want to work on cars. Anybody can decide that they want to do, woodworking, carpentry. It's not gender specific, right? So all of us as human beings, if you knew a friend that knew how to lay carpet, or if you knew a friend that knew how to do tile, if you had a friend that knew how to do these things, you would be better off for it. Because I remember there's a gentleman I work with. He bought a house, an old house that had hardwood floors. And he bought some pizza and some beer for a friend that happened to own one of those big machines that do the sanding of the hardwood floors. So he was able to propel himself further in life right? He got the value equity out of that home with the floors being done because he was connected to someone who knew. If you don't have those kind of connections, right? You have to think about this. The last time you walked past a homeless person or a person that maybe was standing outside asking for money, who knows how you responded? I'm not your judge. But the reality of the matter is this, right? People don't want, let's say you make $10 on your check and you have to walk 10 blocks home. And on every corner, there's a person asking for $1. And your heart is so open, you give $1 away, you get all the way home, you can't even pay your rent, right? We need people in this world, in this country for sure, that can do stuff, that have skills, that are working on building skills so that we can help one another. Not people that just sit around and criticize other people and say a bunch of nonsense while they're drowning in debt. They're drowning in debt. So you're drowning in debt. Credit cards probably out the eyeballs, and that's the thing too, right? You have people that will say these things because this is the environment we live in now. I call myself a Christian. I try to walk right. I'm not perfect. I make lots of mistakes. But we have people that if you confronted them about their situation, they'll just simply lie. I'm not in debt. I'm not whatever. So think about that. If you can't even get to truth with some people. You can't even get to truth, right? People, in my opinion, you have to do better at thinking before you act, before you react. Try more to understand as opposed to just spouting off nonsense and foolishness, right? Try to understand the difference between appreciation and jealousy, right? There's, some people are jealous. For me personally, if I'm watching somebody that's got a Lamborghini, I probably will never own a Lamborghini. I applaud those that can afford it and that can own one. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But the one thing I wouldn't do, which you have to use your own mind. You have to use your brain and think about this. I make a video and I put something up about like a particular brand of tool, and certain types of people click on that video. And you got a portion of people who just appreciate it. They're like, man, this is great. I like that. I learned something. Or they'll be like, oh, you might want to do this. Did you try this? Did you think about that? Then you get these people to come in that, on the internet and all that. What do they call them? They call them trolls. And they're like, that's stupid. That's dumb. This doesn't make any sense or whatever. Let's give context though, right? Let's give context. Because I'm sharing here on Daddy Share Space, I'm sharing something with the people that watch this. What are you sharing? Are you digging in your pockets and showing your life and any aspect of it? Or are you just making empty comments because of how you feel, because of the jealousy that's inside of you? Is that it? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The reality of the matter is, as long as God continues to give me the ability, I'm going to continue to work hard at learning this woodworking thing. I'm going to continue to work hard at, acquiring some tools so that I can share with those that appreciate the content. But for those of you that are just jealous and just angry and mad, I would basically urge you guys to grow up. I would urge you to grow up. This is not high school. Your opinion is your opinion. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So anyways, I just thought I would say that because I obviously I couldn't have spoken it any clearer than it was spoken in this book. Because you see, to me, you have different types of people out here. You have people that are very quick, very sharp, very intelligent. And then you have people that are not quite so intelligent and they take time to learn things. I wouldn't put myself on the span of being like super quick or anything like that. But what I can tell you is my personal experience as a man here in America has led me to understand that. Before I ever read this, my heart already resonated with that concept that, if I want to drive a car to work every day, I need to consider the debits and credits of that, right? I have to have money to put in the gas tank. If I have to pay a payment, I have to be able to pay it. I have to pay insurance. I have to pay registration and taxes. All of this, before you even put gas in the car, either buy the car outright, pay the taxes on it, pay the taxes and registration every single year, pay the insurance. All of that is a negative deficit. If you're just walking to work or riding a bicycle, you don't have any of those costs, right? So it has to make sense. When you put the investment in, there has to be something that you get back in return. It has to propel you forward. So how does it propel you forward? It propels you forward by, if you are able to drive, like if on a bicycle, you can only go as far as 10 miles to go to work. In a car, you can go 50, you can go 100 miles to go to work, right? So it's giving you more access, right? And same thing, when you look at these tools and stuff like this, it gives you capabilities, it gives you access. Now, you don't have to drive 100 miles to work, but now you have that whole range available to you. Let me tell you, if you guys think that this is ridiculous, having this level of tools, if I had the space and the money, you would see me with a skid steer, you would see me with a mini excavator, the whole nine, because in my mind, it's all about being as independent as I can be. Because I don't want to be, if God gives me the ability, I do not want to be that person that's standing outside of one of your stores with my hand out asking for something. I want to be a person that's capable and able, and someone that can give to other people, that can share my experiences and whatever expertise I have with other people. And I do that every day as a registered nurse. But that's the thing. Life is just not nursing. Life is not just medicine. Life is, your car broke down. Life is, you need your lawn done. Life is, maybe you need a new bed or a dresser. And the more skills you teach yourself, the more useful you are to the human race, period. Right? You have people that are sitting around just watching TV all day, wasting their life away, drinking their life away, drugging their life away. You don't really have a lot of value to other people when you live like that. But when you push yourself to learn new skills, to develop yourself in a way, and just push aside all the naysayers, push aside the people that are sitting there not doing anything, not preparing, not getting themselves together, but they'll be the first person with their hand out, be the first person to ask for something. It's my goal and my aim to not be that, and let me just say it. In this country, in America, I have grown up in this country. It's been almost 50 years. Always seeing people that look like me in handcuffs, on the other side of the law, all kinds of different negative things, doing things that, yes, some of my people do things they shouldn't do. And sometimes we experience certain conditions that are not necessarily fair. I'm not asking for any sympathy or nothing. You know what I've done? I've rolled my sleeves up and I'm working. And I don't care about what any of you haters think about that. I hope that you continue to be frustrated and discouraged or angry and jealous. I hope that you continue to be that way, because that's just going to be fuel to let me know I'm going in the right direction. For all of you guys that this doesn't apply to, I apologize for the rant, and I will see you in my next video.